Welcome to another episode of Autisable Dads, Life with Autism, from a parent's perspective. With each episode, Rob and I talk with media professionals, business owners, and nonprofits to discuss what they are doing to help families get the services they need and how the public perceives autism. We also talk with other autism parents and autistic individuals about their life and autism. Okay, so one of the things that we're always asked, or at least I'm always asked, is if you've ever thought about starting your own podcast, what should I do? Well, we got on Anchor because when we were trying to figure out how to distribute content or how to be able to record easily, Anchor's worked best for us. Anchor is a one-stop shop for recording, hosting, and distributing your podcast. Best of all, it's 100% free and ridiculously easy to use. And now Anchor can match you with great sponsors you want to advertise on your podcast. That means you can get paid to podcast right away. In fact, that's what I'm doing right now by reading this ad. So if you've always wanted to start a podcast, make money doing it, go to anchor.fm/start to join me and the diverse community of podcasters already using Anchor. That's anchor.fm/start. I can't wait to hear your podcast. In this edition of Autisable Dads, I'm going to be sharing with you some insight that I had back in 2010 in an article that I wrote called Stress, Tantrums, and Breakdowns. This is a very common issue with parents of autistic children. Stress is a funny thing. It has this nasty habit of sneaking up on you. You think you can handle it, manage it, control it. But then, seemingly out of nowhere, bam, you realize all too late that you've gone over the edge. Words and actions that you never thought you were capable of come flooding out. Like an out-of-body experience, you watch in shock, unable to stop the onslaught before you. Yes, I'm speaking of personal experience. Some days I feel like nothing can stop me from cracking under the pressure of our many issues. Rages, aggression, house issues, and money issues, they all build until they are just too great. Then, the smallest slight, the tiniest setback has a way of causing an unwarranted reaction. Happy people make me cry. Sad people make me cry. Come to think of it, anything and everything can reduce me to a bundle of blubbering nerves. Then there's the yelling. I'm ashamed to admit the ugly words that can come out of my mouth. My excuse? I'm stressed out. And then it came to me. How is this different from my complicated kid? I get so angry at their meltdowns and rages, I tend to forget how hard life is for them. Ask any adult with Asperger's, and they will tell you that just normal everyday dealings cause an autistic person a huge amount of anxiety. And for a kid with an anxiety disorder, the world is one big scary place. On any given day, they are at their breaking point. What's worse, they are too young to process it, to understand why they feel the way they do. So as we head into the weeks ahead, I have a new empathy for their behavior and the rationale behind it, because I've seen it before in me. Thank you for listening to this edition of Autisable Dads, Life with Autism from a Parent's Perspective. More often than not, we tend to talk a lot with other people. This particular edition is just some insight that I share from my perspective. Feel free to reach out to us at autisable.com. We're on Facebook, Twitter, as well as several other social media outlets. You can also become a Patreon supporter at patreon.com/autisable. Thank you.